Hey, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to go through the assignment and just kind of clear some things up before some of us go too far too fast. Again, this is not a portfolio cover. This is a magazine cover, and we're trying to teach a little bit about elements that are brought into, let's say, an advertisement like a magazine. If I look at the cover page here, the assignment, there's different types of topography. There's text, there's shapes, there's colors, there's gradients and backgrounds. And that's what we want you to try to figure out is how you want to gear your magazine. So the unit problem, and I would ask that you actually open the assignment on the Google Classroom. That's kind of a big thing. Looking at the background information, you are one of three finalists being considered for the employment of Tech Valley Publishing, a company that's trying to create a new magazine in the Lake George Capital District region. They will be hiring one area youth to contribute to the layout of a monthly teen section of this new periodical. In order to land this position, they're asking each finalist to submit a mock magazine cover intended to capture the interest of the teen demographic and relevant advertising agencies in your region. So, the subject area is trying to capture people in this area. That's your demographic. That's your target audience. The finalists must create a theme name for the magazine. So you should have a very bold name to the magazine that you're going to create. So that's up to you. The magazine should be clearly visible, the name. The month, year, and issue number should be listed. Like all magazine covers, you'll be able to find that on each publishing. The design should include at least original digital picture. It doesn't have to be a picture you take. You can find pictures on the internet. That would be fine. And create several mock articles with author or page number as you're seeing down in some of these examples. Use a variety of fonts and colors. So not just one, a variety. And that's one of the first activities. We brought in a text box, we brought in word art, and then we brought in also cool text generator. So that was an exercise to help you figure out different types of font you could use. And include a UPC code bar on the lower left corner. These are on the lower right, yours is on the lower left. So that's one of the things that we're going to ask you to look at. Hopefully when you actually watch the video, you'll go through, you'll see this section, and you'll go into this. So again, this is not something that's supposed to be done in a class period. This is something we want you to try to design. And here's the next thing I'm going to ask you to do. What I'd like you to do is actually in the cover demo, this is my cover demo, but in the cover you created, the example was bringing in background and some digital text. That is not to say that that's what you have to choose. In fact, the assignment today is asking you to go on, and I'd like you to find at least 4 different magazine covers that are sort of geared towards what you want to bring into your actual cover. And how am I doing that? Well, I'm more of an outdoors person, and I think that lends itself very well to this region, seeing that we live in the Adirondacks. So I think making an outdoors magazine for this area would be an acceptable thing. So once I find a cover that I like, doesn't mean I'm going to copy it. I'm just going to kind of look at how they do that. I'm going to take a screenshot, Command-Shift-4, and I'm just going to basically cut and snip just a preview, and that's going to go to my desktop. So when I actually go to bring this in, let me minimize this, I'll take the screenshot and I'm just going to drag this in. Okay. Now, that being said, if I look at some of these outdoor magazines, instead of having a background with a gradient, what I might have to go out and find a background that has a portrait of an image instead of a gradient background. So that's some of the things that you're going to kind of look at. Now what we're going to do, once I use this as my background, obviously I'm going to have to arrange this and send this to back so all my other text comes through. And that's how I'm going to sort of gear. If I look at this one right here, there's obviously a color gradient as the background and the subjects in front of it. So we want you to kind of learn how to find some of these images that are transparent that you can bring in, just like they've done in some of the examples here. So obviously this is a a landscaping background with a person skiing, and everything else is on top of that element. This one is different. All the text is in the background and the subject is ahead of that. So these are some of the things we want you to try to incorporate in your Google Draw magazine cover. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you to do today, on top of that, bringing in 4 different magazines to accompany what you're doing to help you kind of build what you're working on, I'm going to ask you to share this with me so I can see how you're progressing through this. Again, this is not supposed to be done in one day. You're going to share this with me, and that's STROOEBL. Lawrence Strobel. I should come right up, and you're going to share this with me. Hopefully I spell that right. When you share that. So I'd like to see what you're working on. You should not be turning this in today. This should not be done today. This is something that you're going to build, design. This is a design class. This is a digital graphic design unit. And we want to see what kind of creativity you can bring into this magazine. Again, I'm going to ask that you review the criteria and constraints. It's very clearly illustrated that your demographic is the teen demographic, which is you. So your magazine should incorporate things that people of your demographic would be interested in. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna kind of go with today. It's a fairly short video, but again, I want you to take the time to really understand what we're trying to have you build here in this challenge. So there should be 4 magazine covers that you're interested in, and you share your work with me. And that's not to say that it's done. Just share it so I can see what you're working on throughout class. All right, if you have any questions, please email me. Thank you.